Though, a conversation I had a bit earlier today, which I found fascinating. It's nearly a week since the devastating London Bridge attack. Two people, Saskia Jones and Jack Merritt, were killed by a convicted terrorist from Stoke-on-Trent. Usman Khan, originally from Cobridge, had been living in Stafford. Well, tomorrow, as a reaction to what happened, a mosque in Stoke-on-Trent has organised an anti-terrorism event. They've invited a man from Birmingham who goes all over the world and speaks about how Islam condemns all forms of terrorism. I spoke to Khadeejah earlier and asked him how he felt when he heard the news on Friday.
My first reaction last week was that this is not something that we as Muslims or the Muslim community need right now. After years of suffering at the hands of these terrorists, because the Muslims are the greatest victims of terror, because most of the terrorist attacks that take place in the world actually take place in Muslim countries, whether it be in Saudi Arabia or Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia. You find that most terrorist attacks are targeted towards Muslims. Occasionally, of course, some of that overflows into non-Muslim targets, because to them it's all the same, whether you're Muslim or non-Muslim, because the terrorist in essence has no religion. He only has an idea in his mind that he needs or he wishes to establish his version of a cult. And that cult, in essence, is basically to annihilate all forms of following of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and to replace it with an archaic or something that is actually completely alien to Islam, alien to the Quran, alien to the prophetic tradition. So what happened last week, my first reaction was, we really need to stand up once again and to reiterate our stand and to make clear that actually whatever is being done, it's not enough, meaning that some of the de-radicalization programs maybe need to be a little more focused on theology, because these people, they actually believe what they're doing is rooted somehow in scripture. They need to be de-radicalized using Islamic theology, meaning the same text that they claim to be following need to be shown to them to show them that actually you're misinterpreting, you don't understand. And there's not many. I mean, let's be honest. It's not as if the Islamic community is overrun by them. These are all it takes is one or two to destroy the reputation of a whole community. They don't speak for Islam. So if they feel that they need to take an approach that is violent, then right from the beginning we tell them, well, if you want to take a violent approach, then don't do it in the name of Islam, because Islam actually doesn't teach it. And if that doesn't work, then we truly know that we're dealing with psychopaths, individuals that actually need to be put behind bars so that the rest of the society can be protected from them.
I just find this utterly fascinating. How do you feel about coming to Cobridge to talk about this?
It's something that actually we do quite often. It's not something new to us. We're fairly well versed with regard to combating theologically the ideas of the radicals. And I believe that it is the most robust and it is the best approach. You need to fight these individuals with the very text that they are using, or the very sources that they are trying to use to justify their action. So me coming to Stoke, actually, we see it as an Islamic duty. It's not something that we do because it's a job that we get paid for. There's no salary involved. We do it because we believe it's an Islamic duty. Because the real issue here is not that I'm trying to convince non-Muslims. My real task is to convince young, impressionable Muslims that actually there's a group of people out there who are ready and willing to deceive you for their own political ends. Because there's so many grades and shades of Islamic ideology that are out there. Then how does a youth at the age of 17, 18, 19, right up until maybe the mid-20s till he's 30, how does he actually decipher without having knowledge of the Arabic language, without having knowledge of the Islamic tradition and Islamic theology? How does he decipher right from wrong when everything is being thrown at him? And I think that's what happened with this, with this terrorist, took part in that terrorist attack on London Bridge the other day. But he is actually completely and utterly lost as to what the true Islamic stance is in these matters. How is it possible that a Muslim can get it into his head that you can go out and kill civilians, innocent people who are going about their daily chores, who are just going about their daily duties? How is it possible that a Muslim can get it into his head that this is what the Prophet Muhammad came with?
Abu Khadeejah speaking to me earlier. The event where he will be speaking is called Terrorism is Never Islamic. Starts at 7:30 tomorrow night at the mosque in Cobridge, open to Muslims and non-Muslims if you want to go along. I just think really interesting perspective on it all.